Hey guys, following on from my KH1 Creepy Things video, today I wanted to talk about some of the small but effective details and mechanics that I found throughout the game. There's a ton of these, so I've just chosen 10 to focus on today, and I've tried to include a variety. Some are bigger and more obvious than others, some are smaller, and one of them is even a gameplay mechanic. So let's begin. I'd like to start with something I only very recently found out myself. So in the item shop in Traverse Town, the one with Donald's nephews, there's a set of scales in the corner. If you stand on them, the meter will actually ping up to show Sora's weight. There's no numerical values or anything, but the pointer shows that the scale can actually take objects a lot heavier than Sora himself. Oh, and no, Donald and Goofy unfortunately don't trigger the scales, but it alarmed me that I discovered this so late. I really wouldn't have even considered this before a few weeks ago because I didn't know it existed. And it just shows how much is hidden in the first Kingdom Hearts game. When you've grinded through those special Heartless and synthed every single possible item, one of the Moogles will express your joint achievements, but if you talk to one of the other ones, you'll get a strange Easter egg where it declares you a Master Synthesist, and then you get a notification like all the others in the game. It'll pop up with an unsure message about your mastery, and then the Moogle breaks your heart and says JK. I mean, it's a random and funny interaction, but what really makes it stand out is the notification, as though the game UI itself is confused about what's happening. Had it just been the Moogle saying that text bubble, I don't think this would be very noteworthy at all. It would just be another bit of dialogue in the game. But that notification popping up just makes this a really strange and funny little detail in the game that a lot of people missed. What I like about these scoreboards is that they really didn't have to include them. In other games, the rounds are just round 1, 2, 3, and you either win or you don't, like a gauntlet. The Coliseums don't have specific rounds with names. Whereas in this, your progress is actually documented on a scoreboard, and it really feels like each round is composed of a team of Heartless, or a boss, or characters that made it to that level of the competition. The names as well, the level of effort they put into the names is remarkable. Some of the names even seem like sneaky references, such as the Avengers one. Also, it's funny how Hades just stuck his board on top of the normal 3. It's just such a him thing to do. Oh, and as a little aside, the sign in front of the Colisuem door actually notes how Sora is coming out on top of all the tournaments. And then you have the Moogle in Traverse Town as well, who mentions that a boy is winning all the tournaments. That's pretty neat stuff. I think nearly everybody who has played KH1 knows about this reference, so I'm not going to talk about it much, but it's still really cool. Traverse Town's like a refugee world where some of the survivors of destroyed worlds go. But the thing about that is it means it's perfect for a reference like this. The characters from The Lady and the Tramp don't appear in the Kingdom Hearts series at all, but they still managed to get a Disney reference in, snuck into an original world regardless. I just find it a really charming thing to include. And also, by the way, that fountain is loud, like damn. Oh, and it's very fitting for Traverse Town, since it's a town with like a lot of restaurants and things, and Lady and Tramp in the back alley and everything, it makes a lot of sense to be there. This is an example of the game rewarding the players who like to explore and check everywhere, returning to Hollow Bastion and then talking to Aerith to receive not only the rest of the Ansem reports, but an actual Cure tier upgrade. The fact this is completely missable, it might seem annoying, but I actually like that you're rewarded for exploring everything and actually interacting with the characters, not just forgetting about them. Hell, you even have to exhaust her dialogue as well, it's not just given to you straight away. And I also just love how in the first game, related to this, you receive magic upgrades in quite unique ways. You get Aerith teaching you a better cure, you get Merlin giving you your first spell, you get Aero for rescuing all the Dalmatians, an Aero upgrade. It's just a really nice way of doing it rather than just you defeat a boss and here's an upgrade. And with Aerith as well, her teaching Cure just feels completely right and it's very meaningful. Someone who kind of mentored Sora to begin with. It just shows how important these Final Fantasy cameos actually are. They are technically cameos, but they mean a lot more than that, and we can't just dismiss them as fun references and say we don't need them anymore, in my opinion. The Keyhole of Traverse Town is activated. It shows up when you ring the Gizmo shop bell 3 times and then you fight the opposite armor. What's interesting is that every time you ring the bell, the block rotates, showing a different picture for each ring. It's technically pointless, It's a pointless detail really, but it just adds a bit of life and intrigue to the keyhole. Why are these pictures here? You know, who painted these? The last picture is one of butterflies, and I find that just kind of interesting because the deep jungle keyhole is also surrounded by butterflies, so there's maybe a connection there, who knows. And then the other faces show a forest and then some flowers, and there's even an underwater scene. I love it just because it could have just been you ring the bell 3 times and then there's a little scene of the keyhole like appearing in its place, you know, it just goes boop, oh, there's the keyhole. But instead, like, the block rotates, it like makes this big noise, it's just like, it sets you up, it gets you like, oh, what's going to happen? There's probably going to be a boss, or I don't know. I just find something like that, as small as it is, it really enhances what you do in the game. Alright, this really is small, but I think it's a testament to the level of care that went into KH1. It's the fish that Geppetto keeps, who's named Cleo by the way. Once you rescue the characters from Monstro, he actually takes her with him to his new home in Traverse Town. And when you revisit the whale, Cleo is indeed gone. She's not in her bowl. I just like that the developers were so attentive to detail that they made sure she wasn't in the same place. In 2 places at once, right? And it just makes me happy. I don't know that they took her from one and put her in another, not just move the bowl, or, you know, they actually changed the position that she's there. I don't know. It just makes me kind of happy. The Dalmatian puppy that follows you around the dining room table in their house is, and I don't usually say this, but it is very cute. The whole house is impressive with how they place 99 puppies in the rooms, all doing their own thing. I feel like any other Kingdom Hearts game would just make this a checklist with the menu and be done with it. But here you get an actual visual indicator of your progress. And dare I say, a content feeling that you're saving all the puppies. You get to kind of experience your own efforts. And the little excitable follower is the best part of this. I mean, how many of you have played with it, like waiting for it to catch up to you or running circles around the table? I know I've done that quite a few times. I always did that back when I played it on PS2, and I still sometimes do it now. It's just a really nice detail. So this one always intrigues me. For a brief while in Halloween Town, an alternate version of the main theme plays, which is known in the soundtrack as the soft version. Here's a comparison of the two. I guess this is like an early or scrapped version of the theme that they made that was replaced by the more famous, more movie accurate one that we all know. But instead of just leaving it out, however, you still get to hear it, they still kept it in for a little bit just to be like, yeah, we might as well use this song. I think that's pretty cool if that's the case. I mean, it could also be they just made 2 songs and they're like, yeah, we'll just add this one there. But the fact it barely plays makes me think it was kind of like their first version and then they made another one and kept that one in because they didn't want to waste a good song. Finally, I want to give a shout out to something that isn't small in scope, but it will usually be unnoticed by most when they play the game. So in the world Terminus in End of the World, the pillars that lead to the worlds you've previously visited, they only need to be stepped into if you haven't sealed the keyhole in that world. Now most people will just venture in and fight the Heartless to get the rewards anyway, but you can actually skip it as long as you seal the keyhole. And you can see because worlds you've locked already have a purple pillar, and those that you haven't locked are blue. In my footage, these are all purple because I always complete every world when I play the game. I like that this is an indicator that the world is safer thanks to your actions. You know, you've saved a world, so you don't have to go and fight Heartless in it at the end. You're like, okay, that world's safe. Plus, if you actually skipped a world, you're still forced to visit at least one room from that world, so you know, you're not missing completely on that Disney aspect. It's just a super cool piece of interconnectivity and kind of like making your actions have a result, like a cause and effect, even if it isn't that important. I think was a really nice thing to add. Well, there we go, 10 of the many small details that make up KH1. Wow, I just noticed how many of these are actually in Traverse Town too. I didn't even think about that, but I'll go into that maybe in another video. But taken on their own, these details may seem insignificant, but when you have them all together, including the many others that are in the game, they really fill out all the worlds. They create immersion and a sense of depth that I feel like no other Kingdom Hearts game has managed to achieve. I'd honestly love if the series could try and make a return to this style of world design, though I do doubt it with how modern games are designed. But regardless, I can always come back and enjoy the ones we do have, whenever I replay this game. Oh, and I'm planning on covering more like this, but it's going to be in a slightly different format, so hopefully plenty more videos where I'm gushing about KH1, and heck, I might even talk about the other games too, because there's still some nice stuff there. If you have any small details you love from this game, or any in the series at all, any in the Kingdom Hearts series, feel free to comment them, because I always enjoy seeing other people's favourites. And sometimes they're ones that I haven't heard of. I learnt about those Traverse Town scales very recently, perhaps you know something I don't know. But with that said, thanks for watching, and have a good one.